Hello and welcome to the Talking Knits podcast. I'm Shelly, coming at you live from the banks of the Missouri River. Let's do this thing. And as always, thank you for coming today. If you're a new viewer, welcome to the Madhouse. We're glad to have you. If you're a returning viewer, it's also great to see you. Welcome back. You might notice the change of scenery. I've moved a little bit further to the left in my apartment, and I hope you really like it. And my crazy red couch, it was a Christmas gift last year. It's really a lot more comfortable, plus there's a lot more room, and you can actually see me as opposed to the upper lid of the red bucket that I put my, previously I had just put a webcam there, and as of yet, I've actually gotten a tripod for my cell phone, so you can actually see me as opposed to everything around me, and also when I try and, move things over and everything, then there's a lot more room for you to see it. And other than the change in scenery, you might have noticed that there's been a little bit of a gap between the posting I've made as of recent and then this one. If you didn't watch the previous episode, I will tell you that I got a new job. It's in my field and I'm totally loving it. And I love everybody I work with. They're so funny, and I just feel like it might be a good place for me to build a foundation in my career. The only problem is that it's very time consuming, and I really don't get a lot of time to do much else except go to work and go home. Every once in a while I get to go out with my fiance, we get to go out for dinner and everything, and that's always really nice. But sometimes it's a little bit difficult to find time to film. And so I am really glad, though, that I finally got to sit down and make another podcast, because I've been missing you guys a lot. Also, in addition to kind of dealing with the transition from going to getting out of school, to working, to doing all kinds of things, also learning to knit and crochet. Actually, I learned to knit before I learned how to crochet. I guess the 2 weeks I had to kind of go through before I knew that I got my job and before I started my job and everything like that, I guess it was just so stressful I needed some kind of outlet, and I learned how to crochet over that period of time, or at least I've, kind of gotten to the point where when I crochet, it doesn't look like a complete mess. It actually looks a lot better than it used to. So now I have added crocheting to my list of various and sundry talents that I will show on this blog and everything. So, by the way, I apologize. I meant to say the word podcast, but it was coming out vlog and blog and who knows what else. I meant to say podcast, I promise. Not to mention, kind of when I was after I had done all this, I got really burned out on doing anything like this, and I definitely went through a period of time where I just didn't want to deal with it, especially with everything that was going on around me, and so I decided to even put up the needles for a while, and past a certain point, my fiance said, you really need to get back to the knitting and to the crocheting because it's what makes you happy and everything like that. So I decided to eventually go back to it, and true to form, it really has made me a lot happier, and brings a little bit of enjoyment back to my life and makes me feel a little bit better, you know what I mean? So I guess that's my personal kind of spin on things, and sorry if it's a little bit lengthy, but I'm always pretty much an open book, and I'm willing to share things if it makes somebody else feel better about their own situation. So it's really not a problem. And so we will get to the actual knitting and crocheting part of the podcast. So without further ado, here we go. So on my birthday, I received a skein of yarn from a wonderful indie yarn maker called Beach Bum Yarn. If you have not been to her Etsy shop, you really should. I will leave a link down in the box below, and you can check it out whenever you feel so inclined. But since I was kind of exhausted with things going wrong, I just decided to knit a very simple garter stitch type of scarf. And if I want to, I can kind of add a complicated fringe on later, just so it doesn't, look as vanilla as it could. So I am going to show you what I have so far on the scarf. This is it here. I'll give it a minute to focus. It's kind of when you see it in the when it comes in the skein, it looks like it's got a lot of black parts up at the top, and then when you get down to the bottom, it's kind of orangish and yellowish. So you're really not sure how it's going to come out, if it's going to be like a whole bunch of black, and then at the bottom there's some yellow and some orange, which I was actually thinking it was going to be at first, so I was kind of worried about it. But it actually came out just the way I showed you. It's kind of more variegated here, so you see the blacks and the yellows and the oranges, and they're evenly distributed through the work. And so that will eventually be a scarf of some sort. I really kind of want to add like a cream color or like some kind of light brown color on the bottom, so it looks like campfires and like, a marshmallow type fringe on the bottom, and it'll look kind of cool that way, I think. And finally, I have some acquisitions to show you. I went to Joann today because I have a gift card that I am trying to use up, so I went and checked out to see if they had the Hilda and Joe earrings still there, and they do. These are the ones I got, sorry, and I really like them. I think they go really good with the necklace I got at Target, if I can get it to adjust here. This is it's a starfish necklace, and obviously I ran the business Starfish Knits for a while, even though I'm still trying to figure out what I want to do with it and all that. But either way, I like the starfish as an animal, and of course FISCH, part of my married name. But anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. We don't want to do that. So I will show you what I got at Joann other than the earrings. So long story short, I saw this really amazing pattern for this granny stripe, granny stripe Afghan, and it was on this this page. It was on a Ravelry page for a woman called Attic24, which is ATTIC 24, and it just looks gorgeous. And I thought, if I got some holiday yarn together and buy a lot of it while the pounders are on sale, or the Karen 1 pound, I just call them pounders, and while those are on sale, I think I could make, a complete granny stripe Afghan without having to constantly buy new yarn and all that. So I decided to get some Christmas colors. I got this lovely thing. It's showing in there backwards. I'm very sorry about that, but I believe it is the Claret or the Claret, I don't know. And it is color 10562, and this is how it looks. It is a 16-ounce ball of yarn, so it is not joking, it is a pound. I always just thought it was you know, kind of being silly, but it's true. And alright, this is the other color here. This is the humongous 1 pound thing of green yarn, and this is Karen 1 pound also in Kelly green, and the color is 10510. Incidentally, this is also my sister's favorite color, so I may save a little bit of some of this yarn to see if I can make something for her in this color. So that is really all the acquisitions I have at the moment. I don't really have anything else ready because I had the campfire yarn and it is not really skeined. It's kind of more of a mess. So obviously need to work on my rolling skills, but at the moment that's all I have for purchases in the recent past. And I guess that's it for me as far as the yarn related podcast. I've actually decided to put the lighter kind of what's new thing kind of towards the end of it, so you don't have to listen to me go on forever about what's going on in my life. But anyway, it's been my birthday on the 15th of September, and I technically, I guess, I'm still having birthday dinners because I'm really close to my fiance's side of the family, especially his aunt, because she's like a mother to me, as well as his mother, who's like a mother to me. So I am always very excited to see them, and I haven't seen Brian's aunt on the paternal side since last Christmas, and I am so excited to see her. I mean, if you've seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding, she's like, you know, the Tula's mom. She always wants to offer you something, you know, like, do you want some of this, you know, do you want me to get you this, get you that? You know, it's basically just the same thing, except they are Serbian, so it's basically just, you know, constant doting on and everything. It just feels fantastic, and I am eternally grateful for them. We're going out to eat tonight, and then tomorrow I'm back to work. I guess I'm one of those geeks who just really enjoys work because I've been waiting all weekend to go back to work. I am so excited to start my second full week at work. So I guess that's all I have for you. I expect to be back here next Sunday with any luck. I hope you have an excellent week and that you have happy knitting. Thank you, and have a good rest of your day.